vision and abilities to the development of music all across the state of Mississippi. Mr. Schultz married the former Mrs. Hazel Johnson. Their daughter Dora has 2 children, Melissa and Mark. It is in honoring an outstanding and meaningful life well spent that the Northeast Mississippi Band Directors Association awards the George Henry Schultz Award. I'd first like to present this to our past recipient of 2012, Mr. Bruce Dobbs of Corinth. Our recipient for this current year of 2013, which will receive the traveling plaque for 1 year, is Mrs. Sarah Todd of Pontotoc. At this moment, we'd like to go ahead and turn it over to our Junior High Association with our president, Mrs. Marsha, I'm getting old, sorry folks. Morgan, a long day, sorry, Marsha Morgan of Oxford.
At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Lauren Crum to come on the stage. She's the band director at Itawamba, and she has been our band chairman for the junior high band, and she is going to introduce you to the clinician.
Shorter than the average person. So now I'm going to introduce someone else. So it's my honor this year to be able to introduce the clinician for the Junior High Honor Band, Mr. Kevin Cole. He has dedicated his life to being a music educator in the state of Mississippi. He's taught at Alcorn Central and Kossuth, New Albany, South Pontotoc, and he's currently at Lafayette. He served 2 terms as president of the Northeast Mississippi Band Directors Association and 1 term as the junior high president for the Band Directors Association. And he's done several things. He's served as a member of the Lions All-State Band. He's a part of Phi Beta Mu and Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia. He has also been a recipient of the George Henry Schultz Award. And this year he was elected as the Mississippi Outstanding Band Director. So he has done several things. So it is my honor to introduce you to Mr. Cole, my stepfather, mentor, and the reason why I got into music education. So please welcome him to the stage.
This first piece was not listed in your program. I saw it after I sent in what I wanted to play, and I said, I want to put that in the folder, so I brought it. It's called Fanfare for the Unsung Hero by Mark Conway. And when Mark wrote in his program notes about this piece, the unsung heroes that he was talking about are like teachers and things like that. People who just do things for other people, not for any reward or anything like that, just because that's what we do. So that's what he wrote this fanfare for. This next piece is a piece by Johnny Vinson, and it's entitled Overture on a Hymn Tune. Now, there's probably at one time in America, there were a lot of people that learned how to play music, not the way they're looking at it, but by the shape of the note. These old shape note hymnals, the Sacred Hearts hymnal, had shaped notes in them. And there's still some around. I have one in my house, fortunately. And the notes are different shapes to tell you what the notes were. They were also on a staff like this, but they were shaped like that. This song is based upon a hymn from that. The Old Ship of Zion is the hymn that this comes from. So this is Overture on a Hymn Tune.
Each year, the Northeast Mississippi Junior High Band Directors Association awards a scholarship to a member of our honor band to attend the summer band camp of their choice. The way this is chosen is the directors submit applications on the students, and then we have a committee that overlooks those applications and chooses the students. This year, we are giving away 2 scholarships. Those recipients are Whitney Moody of Pontotoc and Kayla Connor of Nettleton.
Next piece is a little fun tune I brought with me. It's called Top Secret. Down at the bottom it says this piece will self-destruct. I hope it doesn't for us. But it's by Larry Neek, and some of you will recognize a lot of these little themes that they stuck into this song. So this is Top Secret. I want to say real quick before we play our final number, I have had an absolutely wonderful time working with these students. They are extremely well behaved, even though some parents may say, really? They really are. They listen to everything I told them. They sometimes even laughed at some of my jokes, and they're pretty old ones. But I've had a wonderful time. I want to thank Miss Morgan for helping me and letting me do this. I also want to thank Lauren Crum for being a band chairman and everything she did with that. I also want to thank, I brought some others with me, Laura Bryant, Daniel Hodges, Jeremy Freelon, and David Coleman helped me out tremendously last night getting everything going and all through the day, so I want to thank them also. The last piece we're going to do, I love to do a march to end a concert with. This is called Grand Gallop. It's also by Johnny Vinson, and it's just a nice little circus march we're going to have some fun with.
find the toys. go that way or?
Never get to be on the line. I will. I'm sorry.
The group of extraordinary musicians on stage is the Northeast Mississippi Band Directors Association High School Honor Band. I use the term extraordinary deliberately. Often we think of music as being extra, the band as being something extra. Of course, we know in this room that there's nothing extra about band, but we do also know that band takes a lot of extra. It takes a lot of extra time, a lot of extra resources, extra money from parents, from schools, from a lot of people concerned. And to sit on this stage takes a lot of extra effort. And I'd like to take a moment just to recognize these students for the extra effort that they have expended to be here today. Most of these students are first-year members of the band. They don't know I'm going to do this. But I would like for all the first-year members of the band to stand, please. Thank you, guys. You can be seated. We have several second-year members. If they would stand to be recognized at this time. Thank you. There are also third-year members of the band. If you guys would stand to be recognized. Thank you. The next few groups I'm going to recognize by name, and I hope I don't miss anybody. I went over this a couple of times, and if I did, please forgive me. We have, I believe, 5 fourth-year members. They are Cannon Benefield from Columbus. Please stand. Ashlyn King from Pontotoc. Jessica Starks from Pontotoc. Antoine Powell from Tishomingo County. This means that they made this band at least all 4 years of high school. Most likely. Thank you, guys. We have a few fifth-year members of the band. Megan Brown from Pontotoc, please stand. Caitlin Corneli from Tupelo, and Jonathan Wisner from South Pontotoc. Thank you, guys. And there's one sixth-year member of the band. This means that she made it as a 7th grader in every year since. That doesn't happen often. Claire Littlejohn from Pontotoc. Before we get into the program, I'd like to recognize a couple of folks who've helped make this happen today. We had some help in the percussion section getting those guys set and ready to roll. They were David Coleman, he's a student teacher from Ole Miss, and Will Curry from New Albany. I'd also like to recognize Miss Deanna Kiefer. She served as band chairman and helped make sure that the band had everything they needed to rehearse. At this time, I'd like to introduce the clinician. She needs no introduction in the band directing community, and for many of you here, she is the director of bands at Mississippi State University. She's one of the finest musicians and teachers that I know, but the main reason she's here today is because she's also one of the finest human beings that I know. I've been privileged to watch her work this weekend. I've grown as a teacher, getting to see how she interacts with our students, and I know that your students have grown as musicians and as people. She doesn't just teach music. She teaches life, and so the kids have benefited from this experience. So I turn the program over now to Miss Elva K. Lance.
On behalf of the Northeast Mississippi High School Band Directors Association, we would like at this time to award 3 music/band camp scholarships. After the committee had met, just like the junior high and the directors had recommended, these are the recipients of the scholarships. Diamond Wells, Columbus High School. Samuel Garth, Aberdeen High School. And Wesley Knott from Amory High School.
We opened our concert this evening with Red Rocks Fanfare by John Bogenschutz. And as we continue the program, I'd like to tell you that having spent my career in the state of Mississippi, I want to thank all of you who are band parents for your commitment to providing the opportunities and the resources to our children to participate in the band programs of our area. We know that we never receive enough funding, and we as band directors also know that we cannot enjoy the level of success that we do in our state without your efforts. And for your commitment, I say thank you. I also wish to recognize the outstanding band directors in the NorthEast Association. I've had the privilege of coming in and out as a guest clinician this is the 3rd decade of this clinic for me and my experience. And when I started my teaching in the 70s, the Northeast Band Association was arguably the strongest band association in Mississippi, and it is a joy to come back in 2013 and see that things are still going well, and that we have richly supported band programs and great students in Northeast Mississippi. And I thank you for including me in the process this weekend of educating the young people. The students have been great, and it's been great fun making music with them. I have a very difficult task this afternoon, and that is I've been given the difficult task of selecting a most outstanding student. And there are many outstanding students sitting on the stage, and I have the privilege of doing a lot of different clinics in a lot of different locations, and I have not had a band anywhere that's any more receptive to doing what you ask them to do in a cooperative spirit, and really a great group of young people. So it's very difficult to decide on a most outstanding student, but one who has consistently performed well throughout the clinic, I must say, and deserves special recognition, is our timpanist, Wesley Knott from Amory High School. We will continue our program with a 5-movement work based on the 5 scenes of Herman Melville's Moby Dick. It was written by Francis Macbeth, one of the preeminent composers in the field of music for wind band. The title of the piece is Of Sailors and Whales, and serving as our narrator is Samuel Garth from Aberdeen High School.
Call me Ishmael. I go to sea as a simple sailor, right before the mast, plumb down into the forecastle, aloft there to the royal masthead. I am tormented with an everlasting itch for things remote. I love to sail forbidden seas and land on barbarous coasts. For these reasons, the whaling voyage was welcome. The great floodgates of the wonder world swung open. There floated in my inmost soul endless processions of the whale and one grand-headed phantom, like a snow hill in the sky. Queequeg's father was a high chief, a king, his uncle, a high priest. There was excellent in his blood, royal stuff. It was quite plain that he must be some abominable savage, but Queequeg was a creature in the transitory state, neither caterpillar nor butterfly. Savage though he was, and hideously marred about the face, his countenance yet had something in it. Through all his unearthly tattooings, and in his large, deep eyes, fiery black and bold, There seemed tokens of spirit that would dare 1,000 devils. There was a low rumbling of heavy sea boots among the benches, and all was quiet again, and every eye was on the preacher. Father Maple rose, and in prolonged solemn tones, like the continued tolling of a bell in a ship that is foundering at sea in fog, in such tone he commenced, reading the following hymn. as I leveled my glance toward the taffrail. Foreboding shivers ran over me. Captain Ahab stood on his quarterdeck. So powerfully did the whole grim aspect of Ahab affect me that for the first few moments I hardly noticed the barbaric white leg upon which he partly stood. Bedraggled with trailing ropes and harpoons and lances, Moby Dick seemed possessed by all the angels that fell from heaven. Retribution, swift vengeance, eternal malice were in his whole aspect. The birds, they marked the spot. The whale, up him, oh, all ye sweet powers of air. He turns to meet us. My God, stand by me now.
Let's have one more big round of applause for all the groups that have played today. I think everybody did a great job. Thank you once again for coming out and showing your support of what these students are doing. We know that you love them twice as much as we do. Don't forget that there are CDs and DVDs for sale, as well as souvenir plaques and T-shirts out front. I hope you've enjoyed the concert and have safe travels home. Thank you.